So this week featured Austria as the daily race, and people, let's just say, people were not happy on the combination of Nurburgring alongside Austria coming back. This race was pretty amazing. The ending could have been different. Wanted a bit different ending, but so now we start off with pole position going towards the toughest corner of this track. Really easy to hit that curb, unsettle your car, go over there, overshoot, as you can see, and the background people going off. But it was a pretty okay, not the best first turn, but we passed it pretty okay. Now going towards the turn 2. Now here we just go off. We just go off here. Maybe a slight touch from the car behind, but I don't think so. I nearly overshot it a bit as well. So this race features the racing hard and racing medium tires. The strategy could be split into two parts, with racing hards being used, but the racing hards are pretty horrible tires. They have no grip, they're slippery, they're skidding. The racing mediums, on the other hand, for some reason they last really long, and as well as they provide the best grip. And the difference is really observed. You're gonna see that too. The people on racing medium could be much more aggressive. The strategy could be split between starting on hards and ditching them and starting and go on the mediums pretty quickly, or just go a long way on the mediums. Now the car behind me, the Ford GT, he has the racing medium tires and I have the racing hard tires, which is probably the reason he's catching up to me by a mile, and he's really quick throughout this sector. As you can see, he has the racing mediums on his left side. Now here he was really catching up to me. He was really quick. I didn't go defensive there, but I was sensing a move, and I am a bit weaving so he doesn't get the slipstream. It's not that effective on this particular race at this time, but you can just see how close he is. He's just closing the gap continuously. Now these two corners, really I went a bit wide here, and he just senses an opportunity and comes in, and now here he just pushes me off. He pushes me off and I go a bit wide, and that gave him the position. Now you can see it through his perspective. As you see, I go off, he catches up to me really quickly, and now here he pushes me first, and then the second push is game over from me. I am off, I am wide, I lost the speed all. He has the biggest advantage and he gains his position back from there. Now on the straight, I don't know why he was weaving again and again, probably to avoid giving me a slipstream, but slipstream wasn't really worth it here. The car still couldn't overtake you. There was literally minimal slipstream effect, or maybe not even that. As you can see, I'm literally not even gaining on him. Now the problem with this move was he is on the racing mediums and I'm on racing hards, which obviously makes it much more tougher for me to gain on him. Now he is going quicker and quicker. Entering this corner, I understeer. Entry was pretty okay, but exiting there was oversteer, and as you can see, I stepped on the green thingy. The red thing is the track limits on this, and in the penalty ring I get the penalty. That is why people are visibly upset on this, and my chances of reaching the Ford in front minimized even further, and with that I decided that is it. I am no longer going to facilitate these hard tires, and I'm going to change and go towards the end. I came out of the pits in P9 right behind this guy, and let me tell you, this guy was a headache to be behind. But first I had to obviously serve my penalty. This guy was actually driving really bad, and this just tells you another limitation of Gran Turismo 7, that your small mistakes aren't punished that often, and people usually get away in these kind of races especially, and it's just going to tell you how hard it is to overtake in this track as well, and overall in Gran Turismo 7. Leading up to the first corner, he enters the corners, and as you can see, it was a horrible entry to this corner. and I obviously start to gain on him, but it still isn't enough. You can see I'm slowly gaining on towards him, and I catch that little bit of slipstream. I go to the inside. I don't know why he didn't choose that. He obviously went in a bit deep, and he rides the curve, and somehow he is still in front of me, as if that's not realistic. But well, that is what it is. We go on towards corner number 4. Now again, I am on the inside, and he somewhat overdoes the corner and gets the same thing. He rides the gravel a bit. At the start of the lap 8, we enter the first corner, and right here the Lamborghini goes wide and he is off the track, and I gain a position on the Lamborghini. Now I was really close to the Toyota in front, and we were going into corner number 3. Now he already went defensive, so I had no choice but to go outside. I wasn't thinking of a big attack, but I outbraked him, but he covered the inside a bit, overdid it, and he wasn't gonna let me pass that easily, but I somehow managed to get away from him and gain back to P7. Now really relieved, but now I have to keep position. As you see on the right side, he is still there, but I still get a good entry and a bit wider, but I still managed to gain the position back on him. The guy behind gains a 2-second penalty, so that ensures one position at least done. Now entering the next series of corners, and I am ahead, and on overall pace I was much quicker than both of them, so that was already hard overtaking, so there wouldn't be any choice for these people to gain the position back, and I have managed to gain easily on both of them. Now at lap 10, my position rival had pitted, and he was just coming out of the pits right now, and I was coming out of the corner number 1, and as you can see in the front, he is 2 or maybe 3 seconds away from me, so I had missed out on him on all of that kerfuff that happened. I should have easily gained that position, or so be at least closer to him, but the gap is much maintained. I was monitoring the time again and again, and at the start I was gaining, but after the 2 slower cars in front of me, that was the dead end point, and after that I couldn't gain time back on him. So I find myself behind my position rival. We come towards turn 1, get out, pretty evenly matched. Now later on he would start to overdrive, and he is right now weaving again and again, as if even slipstream was powerful enough here. It had minimal effect, like not even that much. We go on towards turn number 3. Here you get a bit closer, but then the gap is maintained altogether, and he rides a bit of curb, and I have lag. Now the problem is he is on the new hard tires, and I'm on used set of medium tires, but medium is much better here in this daily race, because of which even with my worn out tires I should on pace be much quicker than him, but he still is keeping me honest over here. As you can see, while entering this corner, you can see I get so much closer to the car in front, and I am so closer to him, going towards the second corner of this series, and I am right on his tail. I get much better exit. He was a bit later on the brakes, but I am right behind him, and he's still weaving to stop that slipstream. Now with that, we start out our second last lap and going towards turn 1, and from this it was pretty evident he was overdriving the car a lot. He was being later on the brakes, hence sacrificing his corner exit speeds, because of which it was pretty problematic for him, and I was again and again being on his bumper, and I couldn't even pass him just because he was a bit later on the brakes. Now right here he goes all the way towards the inside, and he comes back towards inside, and I hit him. Now I had the chance to go out in front, but I thought I might have hit him, and I thought it wouldn't have been fair to take the position. Now disaster is obviously coming towards one of us, and coming right into this corner, he overshoots the corner, goes out wide. I see a gap, I go, and he loses the traction, and he hits me twice, and he is gone. And that was a pretty sad ending. He is in the gravel, and he couldn't even finish P2. So I also need you guys' help on this one. Whose fault it was? He lost traction according to me, and yeah, The interesting part was me and the very sad part about that crash was that we shared an excellent battle last race, just last race. We both were battling it out hard against each other. In that, I was pretty comfortably ahead. I was 2 seconds ahead, but that was my first race of this set of daily races. I wasn't much comfortable with the track, so I consistently made mistakes, and the gap between him and I was maintained at 2.5 to 2 seconds. Plus, I didn't knew the tires, how they behave, and all that. So during the end laps, he was somewhere around 2.5 to 2 seconds within me. I go and obviously I disobeyed the track limit and get myself handed a half a second penalty. Now, if that wasn't enough, I go in again and get myself another penalty for track limits, and that accumulated to 1.5 seconds in total. Because of that, I slowed down and I had no speed, and he went to take on the P1 position. Now, I had 2 laps in that same exact scenario in which I was gaining a bit, but it was pretty much done, the race. He finished some tenths ahead of me, and that was a pretty sad ending to that race. Now, coming towards the end corner here, and we pretty much won the race here. The race took a turn, Ford versus Ferrari, but yeah, after the race he called me a dirty driver, but I need you guys' help on that too, so take care, bye.